Every morning from May through August on the beaches of Beaufort County, volunteers rise before dawn and walk the shoreline, reading the sand like the morning paper. They're looking for news of departures and arrivals. Loggerhead sea turtles sign a distinctive script as they drag themselves towards the dunes, seeking a soft, safe place to deposit their eggs. Sometimes, however, the mothers don't pick the best nesting spots. Their eggs might be vulnerable to predators or, as is more often the case, to salt water that seeps into the egg chambers if it's not dug far enough away from the high tide mark. Then, the volunteers have to relocate the nest. At the invitation of Janie Lackman of the Fripp Island Turtle Watch group, my wife and I followed one morning. She had watched the night before as a turtle deposited her eggs in a precarious spot on the south end of Fripp. The next morning, her volunteers moved them to a safer spot. This is the story of the relocation of Nest 33.
So this morning, when team comes out, we're looking for tracks. So we're looking for signs of nesting. Number one sign of nesting, of course, is tracks. Hi guys. From the track, you can actually tell what direction she's going. This mark here is a pushback mark, and it points in the opposite direction she was going. So since it's pointing this way, this is her end track. Let's talk about the body pit for a moment. Body pit's the large area of disturbed sand. Normally you don't have something marking where the nest is, and that's actually 2 feet in from the nest. But what we see here is we see a lot of thrown sand, right? We don't have uprooted vegetation because it's not in that kind of place, but we do have the rack kind of moved around.
Two volunteers stayed at this nest to count the eggs, while the rest of the group made its way down the beach to the 33rd nest found on Fripp this season.
We determine where the body pit is. We mark off that area, usually drawing a circle around it. Then we use what's called a probe stick to test for a differential in the sand. So we're looking for that pocket, which is about 8 inches across and 18 inches deep, and that's the actual nest. The nest up at the north end was not in a safe location for tide, so it was going to have to be relocated. Once we found the nest, we very carefully place sand in the bottom of a bucket, and we pull the eggs out one at a time. We have to be careful not to rotate the eggs, so we pull them straight up and straight down and line them up through the bucket. Once that's complete, we find a suitable location to move the nest. We dig a nest that's very similar to the nest that the original mother turtle did. We measure the original nest for depth, and we try and mimic that. So if she bowled out on the left, we bowl out on the left. But again, it's going to be shaped like an upside-down light bulb, about 18 inches deep. Then again, one by one, we put the eggs very carefully back into the nest.
And try not to lose count.
We try not to lose count, which is always a very hard thing. We count in and count out. And then we also take a sample egg. If we have broken eggs, like we did in nest 33, because a crab had gotten in there, we use those for our samples. If we do not have a broken egg, we actually sacrifice a live egg and use that for the sampling. Okay.
The inside?
No, the inside is actually the DNA of the baby turtle or the hatchling, so that would be the mother's and the father's.
Now notice you kept the sand, some of the sand from the original nest and used it. Why do you do that?
We want to keep something similar to what we had before, so we're putting the same sand on the top.
All right. And it'll take them how long before they hatch?
Anywhere from 45 to 70 days, depending on temperature and when in the season it was laid.
What else will you do to check on them, to monitor the nest between now and then?
Every day when patrol goes out, and here on our island we start at 6:30 a.m., we're looking for signs of nesting, so we're looking for new nests, but we're also checking the existing nests. We're checking the existing nests for signs of predation. Our biggest problem here on Fripp are ghost crabs. Other islands have fox and raccoon predation. We're also looking for signs of hatching as we get closer to that, which is really exciting. There'll usually be a depression in the sand, and of course we're looking for hatchling tracks.
Now what comes again? Yeah. And how long does it take for them to hatch?
It's anywhere from 45 to 70 days.
And how old are they before they lay eggs?
25.
Yeah.
20, 25.
25?
20 to 25, yeah.
Come around this side.